Lazy Layla. Layla had been working hard all day. She was feeling really tired. She wanted to rest in the sheds, but by the time she got there, all the spots in the sheds were all full. Please, she said, I've been feeling really tired all day, and I deserve to swap places with either of you, she said. No, said Oliver. We just got there earlier. Well, I was working hard, said Layla, and I deserve to have a nice warm shed. Well, why don't you sleep at Knapford Sheds, said Arthur. I was going to, snapped Layla, but when I got there it was so full of diesels. Why would Knapford Sheds invite diesels around? Well, I'm a diesel, said Rusty, and I sleep with those engines, he said. Well, anyways, said Rosie, I just like a spot. Please, Oliver, she said. No. Please, she said to Arthur. No. Please. No, said Rusty. Please, Proteus, said Layla, begging for a spot for herself. All right, said Proteus. What? said Oliver, Arthur, and Rusty. Come on, said Proteus. It won't hurt a bit. I guess so, said the other engines, and with that, Proteus began to sleep in the siding while Layla took his spot, and so they all went to sleep. But when morning came, Layla began to feel very hot and bothered. "Ah, thank you, Proteus," said Layla to Proteus. "The shed was so warm last night, I felt like my wheels were melting. Can you get my train, please?" she said. "I'm supposed to be pulling some stone trucks." "Sure," said Proteus, and then Proteus got on the turntable and went to fetch Layla her train. This made the other engines very cross. You can't do this, said Arthur. You can't order Proteus around." "Yes, I can, and I want to, said Layla. And when she heard Proteus's voice, "Oh, Layla," said Proteus. "Oh, my train's ready," said Layla. "Goodbye," and she pushed away. But when Layla got to the yards, she found Proteus with her stone trucks to take to the quarry. Oh, thank you, Proteus," said Layla. Where'd you get those?" "I just got them myself," said Proteus, looking at his red cheeks. "Oh, that's so nice of you," said Layla. And then Proteus moved out of the way for Layla to be coupled to her stone trucks, and she puffed away with them. But when Layla came back from the quarry, she was feeling very tired. "Please, Proteus," she said, "can I have your spot?" "Sure," said Proteus, and Proteus still slept in the same siding by leaving the same spot just for Layla. The other engines were cross. This is so annoying, said Rusty. I feel like poor Proteus is not getting treated well." "Indeed," said Oliver, and with that they all went to sleep, not knowing what tomorrow would bring. But the next morning Layla was feeling lazy again. "Please, Proteus," she said, "can you go get my coaches for me?" "Sure," said Proteus, and the turntable turned for Proteus to catch Layla's coaches. "This is so annoying," said Arthur. "Outrageous too," said Oliver. "You can't control Proteus," he said to Layla crossly. "I can and I will," shouted Layla. "Oh, Layla," said Proteus's voice. "Oh, my coaches," she said. "Gotta go," and she puffed away. This made the other engines feel very cross. And then Layla had just arrived at the docks when Proteus came in, shunting Layla's coaches for Layla as they buffered up to Layla. "Thank you." "Oh, thank you, Proteus," said Layla. "You're welcome," blushed Proteus. "I fetched them by myself." "Oh, that's so nice of you," said Layla, and she puffed away with her coaches. Later, Layla came back to the sheds feeling very tired again, but every time she was tired, Proteus always left the same spot for her. And Layla always said thank you, and Proteus always smiled. But Oliver, Arthur and Rusty both had a plan to get back at Layla for not treating Proteus well. The next morning, Layla was even more tired. Oh, please, Proteus," she said. "I want to see Henrietta, and I haven't seen her for ages. Can you go fetch her for me?" "Sure," said Proteus. The turntable turned, and Proteus even set off to find Henrietta and bring her to Layla. "Right, this has to stop," said Rusty. "You're just controlling Proteus because you're too lazy. I can use him whenever I want to," said Layla crossly. And if you like Proteus," said Oliver, "why don't you go fetch Henrietta yourself?" "Well, fine," shouted Layla, and Layla puffed crossly away. And when Layla arrived, Proteus had just shunted Henrietta to her, and Proteus backed up a little. Thank you, Proteus," said Layla. "You really are a good friend." Of course," said Proteus, and Proteus puffed away, leaving Layla to pull Henrietta. But when Proteus got back to the sheds, the other engines all felt sorry for Proteus. "You know Layla is using you, right?" said Oliver. "For what?" said Proteus. "I don't even remember. She started even being lazy for 2 whole weeks," said Arthur. 2 weeks? said Proteus. "What's that supposed to mean?" "You'll know when you see it," said Rusty, when they've heard the tram engine's bell. There was Toby, feeling very worried and very concerned about what was happening. He even asked the other engines what's going on. "Guys," he said, do you all know where Henrietta is?" he asked. Oliver, Arthur and Rusty both looked at Proteus. Proteus didn't fail to say anything towards Toby. "I gave her to Layla." "Why did you give her to Layla?" asked Toby. "I honestly do not know," said Proteus, and he wasn't lying. Toby trundled away. Well, said Oliver, "Layla may be good, but she's brainwashing you, not letting you do your own jobs," he said. "And which means," said Arthur, "she keeps getting you to do her jobs as well as your own," said Arthur. "You're just going to have to stand up towards her and put a stop to it." I will, said Proteus, and he soon agreed. But when Layla got back from the sheds, it was the same old routine. Proteus was still at the same siding where he began, and Layla was still at the same spot Proteus was supposed to be at. Proteus didn't know what to say to Layla, but he had a plan in mind. The next morning, Layla woke up feeling very dramatic. "I'm tired," she groaned. "I need a day off." "No," said Proteus. "Why don't you do some work? The Flight Controller wants you to, you know. Shall I go get your train?" "If you could, please," said Layla. "I'm supposed to..." "Sure," said Proteus, and he put away to get the goods train Layla was supposed to pull. Wow, said Layla, he's good. I bet he's reading my mind. Maybe, said Rusty, but that's not all. He thinks you're as good as he is. Maybe, said Layla, and she puffed away, very impressed. But when Layla arrived at the docks, she was looking for her goods train as she backed up into some vans. She realized she was pulling a goods train with 4 vans. There was Proteus at the back. Here you go, Layla. Oh, thank you, Proteus. That's so nice of you. How did you do it? I just did it myself, said Proteus. Goodbye, and he puffed away, leaving Layla with the van, which she didn't know was called the Flying Kipper. Now everything will be going as planned, said Proteus to himself as he backed away to the sheds. But while Layla was puffing down the line with the Flying Kipper, she was not enjoying this. The smell of fish began to bother her a bit. Oh, this goods train stinks, she said. Maybe Proteus is not giving me the right goods train today. I'm going to talk to the Fat Controller. And she complained all the way up the hill. But when Layla came back to the sheds feeling very frustrated, the Fat Controller then popped out of her. Stop him, she said. Proteus is giving me the wrong goods train. What is it? Snapped the Fat Controller. He had no time for arguing. Oliver, Arthur, Proteus and Rusty soon began to tell the Fat Controller what Layla was doing. The Fat Controller was not impressed. You have no right to control my engines that way, he said. Orders are orders when they're given to, and you are to do as I say, not get other engines to do your work, he said. For this time you will be severely punished for using Proteus as your slave to do your work. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, moaned Layla. She was in big trouble indeed. But from now on, Layla was not lazy anymore. She even got her own trucks and coaches together, and she never took any advantages from other engines ever again.